Let's face it, we know that wealthy people do money differently, but what do they do? And what do they know? And how do they create a financially free life they love? Well, we were down in Costa Rica for a trip, just looking at properties. I realized 3 insights that I had learned in my years of working with affluent clients on how to effectively manage money and what you can do to better manage yours and to get from where you are to where you want to be. And today I'm going to share them with you. So welcome. I'm Annette Bau, host of the Millionaire Insider. For over 30 years, I've been advising and researching the top 1% and 2% of millionaires to learn what millionaires with amazing lives do differently. And now I'm providing you practical, easy to implement insight so that you can build a profitable business with more ideal, affluent clients, as well as the inside scoop on how to create a financially free life you love. And today we're diving into 3 insights to better manage your money. You're going to love today's insights. So before we dive in, please click subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified of future episodes. So all the materials and intellectual property in this episode are copywritten by themillionaireseries.com. The information we provide is not intended to replace any advisor or specialist or to give you investment, financial planning, tax, estate planning advice. All participants agree to hold millionaireseries.com and its affiliates harmless for results achieved or not achieved, and all international copyrights are reserved. For today's show notes, you can go to millionaireseries.com/1003. For all show notes, you can go to millionaireseries.com/WLI. So if you want to create a formula to get from where you are to where you want to be, the best resource I can give you is our Wealthy Life Formula. It dives into the 3 components of an effective formula. You can go to millionaireseries.com/WL-guide, and there you can access that. That's taken me 30 years to figure out, literally, and so you're going to love it. But again, millionaireseries.com/WL-guide, and it will help you to create a new formula. One of the things I find fascinating is if you're not getting your desired results, either in your business or your life or your money, it's the formula by which you're operating. All you have to do is change your formula, and this guide shows you how. So again, millionaireseries.com/WL-guide. So let's dive into 3 insights to manage your money. I recorded this, as I mentioned, while I was down in Costa Rica, and it's got some really good insight. I mean, insight that seems like common sense, but not so commonly applied. So go ahead and watch it, and then I'll meet you on the other side, and I'm going to give you a couple of critical takeaways so that you can even take your money and your wealth to the next level. Today what I want to talk to you about are choices. We're here in beautiful Costa Rica, traveling the country as we're looking at properties. And one thing that's fascinating to me is that the country doesn't have a sewage system. They're on septic tank. But they have some of the fastest internet in the entire world. In fact, they have fiber optics. And you'll see a little tiny house in the middle of nowhere that's basically made of tin. Nothing on the walls, 1 TV, but they have a big screen TV and an iPhone. And when you ask them, why do you have 2 satellite dishes? It's because they can't get all the channels with just one, so they have to have 2 providers. And it brings me to my point that we have money for what we want money for. And it's fascinating. When we have something that we want, somehow we find the money to get it. So you might be saying, well, Annette, what does that mean? Does that mean that I can't live my life, I can't enjoy now? Not at all. But what I want you to do is I want you to not only enjoy the now, but I also want you to enjoy your future. There's a reason that they say less than 91% of Americans will ever have enough money to retire. It's because too much focus, in my opinion, is on the now as compared to what we want in the future. So the key isn't what you want now. You can have that, but you've got to combine the 2. So you might be saying, what can you do? There are 3 things I want you to take away with today. The first thing is to just decide what you want. What do you want? What do you want now, and what do you want in the future? Because deciding what you want and getting clear on that is the first step. The second one is looking at what can you eliminate? What can you eliminate from what you're doing right now that you really doesn't add value, you really don't want, but you're just kind of doing it. Maybe because your friends are doing it, maybe because you think it's expected, but you really don't need to do it, and it's costing you money, and it's money that could be better spent investing or creating a fund for what you want in the future. And then number 3 is to create a plan of how are you going to get from where you are to where you want to be. If you look at people that are successful, millionaires and really successful people, what you'll see is that they make decisions differently. And what the key is that I've seen is how people make decisions. people that wreak financial havoc is because they're making, it's those small decisions that wreak the havoc, not the big ones. It's that $5 a day in Starbucks coffee. Like one of my friends says, Annette, it's only $5. I go, yeah, but you're buying 4 a day. That's $20 a day times 30, $600 a month times 12 a year, $7,200. Take into account interest, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the impact. And see, those are the kind of decisions that we make unconsciously. It's like, oh, it's only $5. But see, it's the 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 that end up equating to lots of money. Whereas the major decisions we make, buying a house, buying a really expensive car, we think about, we have to create a plan for. So what I encourage you to do is look at those little decisions you're making, those small things that could potentially be the pathway to you achieving what you want in your business and your life. So I hope you enjoyed the insight today. 3 takeaways. 1, decide what you want. 2, eliminate what you can. 3, create a plan, start putting money away, investing it, creating a plan so that you can create not only the life you want now, but the life you want in the future. So there you have it. Pretty simple, right? But let's recap. Number 1, you got to decide. You hear me say that? Why do you think I say that so much? It's because most people never do. In fact, I'll say to somebody, what do you want? And then they start telling me what they don't want. Oh, okay. Well, that's helpful to know, but we got to get clear on what you do want, because that activates your reticular activity center. It draws you towards where you want to go. You got to decide. That's so absolutely critical. What can you eliminate? Just getting rid of junk. I love getting rid of junk. In fact, right now in my mastermind, we're having a organize your business, organize your life for results. Getting rid of as much stuff as we can. The more stuff you can get rid of, the better. You don't need it. You're not using it. Get rid of it. It is so freeing, and it will open up the doors to prosperity. And then create a plan. You've got to have a plan. Now, as you learn from the training, people can afford what they want to afford. I go to Starbucks on Fridays because I pick up my son who's in college and we go and have a drink. And I find it fascinating that you're in line and you're looking at people and you're thinking, how many of these people can afford this? And a lot of them can't, right? And I think of going to Starbucks at where I am financially as a major treat. One day my son's like, this isn't that much money. I'm like, it's the little things that make the big things. So just get clear on that. And I'm not saying that you have to be penny pinching by any stretch of the imagination, but when you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. You got to get really clear what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to. So let's look at a couple tips. Number 1, you got to get clear. How much money do you need each month? How much money do you want each month? And then determine where is it going to come from. Earned income, interest, dividends, passive guaranteed income, my favorite, or residual income. The problem with passive guaranteed income is that you have to have a large lump sum to be able to generate it. Whereas residual income is more your expertise, it's more things you already know. So both can work, but just get clear on that. You've got to consistently execute. So once you decide what you want, you've got to consistently do it. So that might mean creating your master budget. You can go to millionaireseries.com/1002 to access our affluent master budget. It works like a charm. You got to start saving. If you're not saving now, start with 10%. The goal is to get up to 50%. I have a lot of people who save 50% of their revenue, and it's a beautiful thing. I love saving money. Maximize your retirement accounts and then reduce your expenses. What can you eliminate? Not only as far as getting rid of stuff, but what are you spending that you really don't need? And then look at ways in which you can create additional sources of revenue. Selling your expertise, affiliate marketing, network marketing, online marketing, part-time job. There are so many things you can do. And even if you've got enough money now, will you have enough money for as long as you need it? That's the $1 million question. Tips, you got to commit to execute, regardless of how you feel. When you miss your goal, reassess, make adjustments, and then get right back on track to executing. And if you need to, find an accountability partner, and more importantly, hire an advisor. Find a really good advisor and hire them. Somebody that's going to charge you to create a plan and then is going to work with you to implement it. So there you have it. Now, if you're struggling, you need more help with your mindset, with really accumulating money, you can go to millionaireseries.com/mindset mastery. Let's face it, if you're having challenges with your money, it begins with your mindset. What's between your ears? This training teaches you the formula, it dives into it, and it teaches you what you need to do to create really solid grounding so that you show up and do what you need to do. When you have a really solid foundation, you don't overeat, you don't overdrink, you don't overwork, you don't do the things that keep you from achieving your goals. You are focused on what you need to do from your money. You don't micromanage it, but at the same time, you don't overspend. It's amazing what happens when you get in charge of your brain, you get in the driver's seat of your life. Everything is going to change. Again, if you want the free guide, The Wealthy Life Formula, go to millionairesseries.com/WL guide. It's a great resource to really help you get really clear on what you want and start implementing it. For today's show notes, you can go to millionairesseries.com/1003. For all show notes, you can go to millionairesseries.com/WLI. So thank you so much for joining me for 3 insights to manage your money. Wasn't that easy? I'm Annette Bau, host of the Millionaire Insider. All international copyrights are reserved. Now, before you go, click the link above. That training is specifically designed for the next step to help you on your journey. I'll look forward to seeing you on it. Until then, bye for now.